Hello, I'm Rob Thomas, and welcome to another edition of The Road Back, brought to you by Club and Resort Business, Club and Resort Chef, and the Club and Resort Chef Association. Today's episode of The Road Back is sponsored by Club Buy. The team at Golf Now launched their first GPO, or Group Purchasing Organization Procurement Program, in 2015. Under the Golf Now Ride brand, golf courses began to enjoy savings and efficiencies related to food and agronomy purchases. Today, the program is known as Club Buy and serves any facility in sports and hospitality. Learn more at clubbuy.com. For today's fresh insight in how clubs are meeting the challenges posed by the coronavirus pandemic and are finding new and innovative ways to boost business levels and start to return to full operation, we're talking with Mike Poe, General Manager of Quintero Golf Club in Peoria, Arizona. Mike, welcome to the show.
Rob, thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Fantastic. Hey, Mike, real quick, before we get into this, can you give us maybe an elevator pitch about of the club?
Oh, yeah. We're a beautiful property. We're at 6 miles west of Lake Pleasant in the town of Peoria out here in Arizona. The course was originally developed back in late 99, early 2000s by architect Rees. Fantastic property, lots of elevation changes. Bent grass greens. It's just every hole is a postcard out here.
Beautiful. I look forward to seeing it. Hey, how did COVID hit really full force in March? How did it affect you guys directly?
Initially, it was a hard hit. It was a hard hit for 6 weeks. People ask us how we did it, how we got through that time, and by the grace of God, I just made some adjustments to our rate structure and actually hit it right on the nose. California shut down shortly thereafter. Our state wasn't shut down, so we had a lot of guests coming over from California, and that started a big impact on our rounds. I would say we probably started to see it change towards the middle of April. It didn't take them very long to say, hey, we're not going to be locked down. We're going to go to Arizona and play some golf. So that started it. Obviously, we were already stung because of our season was hurt that March and April timeframe, and then we lowered the rates. It took us a while to catch up, but we saw a huge influx over the summer where we actually had to ramp up rates during the summer, which we've never done before because we were just so busy. We needed some time to give the golf course some time to heal. And at that point, it just went gangbusters out here, and we've been busy ever since.
Now, March and April, obviously huge for you guys. A lot of the snowbirds, people of my ilk over here in Ohio, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Canada, come down to visit you guys. So you guys missed out on quite a bit early on, I take it.
Yeah, and spring training. We go from Quintero goes from the Barrett-Jackson car show in the middle of January. Then we hit end of February. We hit the Waste Management Open, and then we get a little lull, which is basically our vacationers. I say lull. I use that term loosely. And then spring training, it goes crazy as the days get longer. Spring training is really big for us, and that took a hit as well. We were fortunate enough, again, to make it up during the summer, and I think a lot of Arizona golf courses did. I'm kind of held back by saying how positive it was because a lot of businesses were suffering, and golf did, or at least Quintero did a lot. We just came off our best year ever, which I don't like to share that with a lot of people. Obviously now I am, but it was a big year for us just because people were getting out, and it's a good place to social distance.
Sure, spring training, it's that time of year again, right? We're on it.
Yeah, we are. It's nice to see that we're starting to see, I think spring training here, the Cactus League is only pushed back a month. And with this vaccine coming out, and it looks like we're going to have some type of spring training. It's not going to be full spring training, I'm sure. But we're already seeing golfers that are coming in, our guests that are coming into town for spring training.
Terrific. Hey, you'd mentioned a shift in dynamics, basically what you're seeing at the club. You're not just seeing your traditional group of golfers. What did you see in 2020 that was really maybe a shock or just a totally new experience for you guys?
Well, for us, we were typically that high-end golf course that that catered more to, like, to your point earlier, the Canadians and the winter visitors. We're seeing a lot of families, husbands and wives, that we hadn't seen in the past. We're seeing a lot of business being conducted on the golf course. I mean, we have to, pace of play is a big issue for the golf industry, and we go out there and address those issues and find out, hey, we're just having a business conversation. Sorry, we got a little behind. We'll catch right back up. We're seeing a lot more business being conducted out here. I get a lot of requests for our stay-in plays. They want to host their business up in one of the condos that we have on property. Is that something we can do? As customer service would say, is yes is the answer. What's the question? So we're seeing a lot of that stuff change.
So not only work from home, like so many of us are doing, but now work from the golf course.
They are, with your phones, you're connected to your email, and probably, most of us are connected more than we want to be connected. And they're getting a lot of business done on the golf course. I mean, it's a great office. We serve lunch out there now. One of the shifts that we had to make is we had reduced capacity on our grill and on our patio. Well, heck, let's turn 450 acres into a restaurant. So we did that. We had the ability to put the menu on the GPS, and we hired someone to run food full time. So we just kind of, we audibled out, we Omaha'd, as you say in the business. We threw a little Omaha out there, and we're going a different direction, and we didn't lose a step.
That's terrific. Hey, so you mentioned a little bit. Are there any other things you're doing as far as catering to this new dynamic?
We've done everything. I mean, a mandatory face mask in the buildings. We remind guests politely of social distancing. Everything's optics. If we have a group trying to gather out on the patio, we have to ask them to spread out. And the rhetorical is, hey, we all know each other. We came here on a bus. And I'm like, I know you did, but the guests that are coming down from finishing the round, they don't know that. So we want to make sure that we're reminding people in a friendly way. And it's something we've never done before. I mean, you have to, you got a group of guys, 10 guys around a table for 4. You have to tell them to separate and spread out. And you have to do it in a way that is, obviously polite, and it doesn't offend them, even though they've had a few cocktails in them. Sometimes they're not the most receptive to that, but through a little explanation, they get it. We're just trying to make sure everybody feels like we're doing our part in this every day.
From a marketing standpoint, is there anything that you guys are doing, putting the message out there that, hey, we're safe, this is a socially distanced sport, but there's just so much more than golf out here? Is there anything you're doing differently right now to market the golf club?
Yeah, we did. I did actually a PSA on behalf of our club early on the onset of this that aired on Fox, and it was a piece on that we removed the rakes, we removed any of those contact points on the golf course. We had all of those out for a while. We removed all of that. We sanitized doors. We put sneeze guards up for the clerks. I mean, stuff that we've never, ever had to do before. I mean, our job as operators of these facilities is to actually put ourselves on the other side of the counter and say, what would we like to see? What would make me feel like they're trying all they can to do the right things to protect us? Our job, is to, as operators, is to take that role, put ourselves on the guest side all the time, and to make sure that experience is what people are looking for, and that optically they think that we're doing the right things.
I'll get you out on this one. Hopefully, we mentioned the vaccines. They're spreading right now. Hopefully, spreading. That's a bad term. They're rolling out, and hopefully 2021 is a little more return to normalcy. Is there anything that you've learned from 2020 that you're going to take forward into 2021 and beyond?
Yeah, you know what? That's a great question, and I've asked my staff to do this. I said, let's spend more time putting our side on our thoughts on the other side of the counter as a guest. What we'd like to hear, what we'd like to say. I mean, everybody's on, pretty early on, everybody was on edge, and it seemed like every time you did something, it was never the right thing. Whether you had paper towels out, paper towels in, hand sanitizers out, no hand sanitizers, mask mandatory. I mean, the list goes on and on. And the team was getting a little rattled because, on their side, they're coming up with all these ideas, and everybody's finding the one that we missed. And I think that helped us. It helped us to be more compassionate. It helped us to be more understanding of people's needs. We thought we'd hit it on we were hitting on all cylinders on customer service, and there was always something we had missed. So it did help our staff to become more compassionate towards our guests and their needs, and be more creative. We've always thought yes was the answer, what's the questions, but now we're having to really put it through the test, because we're getting some, we get a lot of requests for the single rider carts. We're an 18-hole facility. We do not have the extra carts to do that, but we can do other things to help our guests, and you just keep doing the best you can.
Yeah, perfect. Perfectly said, Mike. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for watching. Again, this was brought to you by Club and Resort Business, Club and Resort Chef, and the Club and Resort Chef Association. Thank you for watching this edition of The Road Back, brought to you by Club and Resort Business, Club and Resort Chef, and the Club and Resort Chef Association. And thank you to our sponsor, Club Buy. If you have a great idea or success story you'd like to see featured on a future episode of The Road Back, contact us at editor@clubandresortbusiness.com.